The rain had been falling for hours across Dusty Creek, the kind of relentless downpour that turned dirt roads into rivers of mud and washed the dust off every broken fence post and wagon wheel. The sky hung low and gray, pressing down on the tiny western town like a weight. Most folks had taken cover inside, lanterns flickering in their windows, the sound of thunder rolling over the prairie like the voice of a restless spirit. But out there, in front of the old stage depot, stood a figure that didn't belong in that kind of storm. She was small, trembling, her dress soaked through and clinging to her frame, a battered suitcase beside her, and a letter crumpled in her hand. She wasn't crying loud, just the quiet kind. The kind that comes when you're too tired to fight anymore. From down the main road, a lone rider approached, a tall cowboy on a mud-splattered horse, hat low, coat dripping with rain. His name was Eli Carter, a man who'd seen his share of loneliness and heartbreak on the open range. He wasn't the kind who stopped for much. He worked his land, kept to himself, and didn't have time for the gossip or noise of town life. But something about the way the woman stood there in the storm made him slow his horse and look twice. Her face was pale, framed by wet curls that clung to her cheeks, and even through the rain he could see she wasn't from around here. Eli dismounted slowly, boots sinking into the mud, and gave his horse a soft pat before stepping closer. "Ma'am," he said in that low, gravelly voice shaped by years of wind and whiskey, "you'll catch your death standing out here." She startled a little, wiping at her face as if she could erase the tears, then turned toward him with wide, frightened eyes. "They told me to wait here," she said softly. "But they ain't coming back?" Eli frowned. "Who told you that?" She hesitated, clutching the crumpled letter tighter. "The stage driver, he said my husband-to-be sent word, said I wasn't what he expected, told me I should head back east." Her voice broke then, a fragile sound under the thunder. "They sent me back for being ugly." Eli's jaw tightened. He didn't know what kind of man could send a woman away like that. Not out here, not in this world where decency was all folks had left. He took a step closer, the rain pouring off his hat brim. "Ma'am, nobody deserves that," he said quietly. She shook her head, looking down. "I came all this way," she whispered. 2 weeks on a train. 3 more by stage. I thought I was finally gonna belong somewhere." The wind carried her words away, but they hit Eli hard. Maybe because he knew that feeling too well. Belonging wasn't something he'd ever been good at. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated, then answered, Clara Bell."